or worse still, wrong, we understand the stress it brings. Bills, rent, groceries, childcare. It all depends on payroll being right. That's why so many Irish businesses trust SD Works, powered by MegaPay. We handle payroll for 1 in 5 workers in Ireland because it's not just about numbers, it's about people. Find out how we can work for you at sdworks.ie. Accurate, on time, every time. SD Works.
Hey there, looking for car insurance that's simple, fast and comes with a little extra? That's RedClick. You can save up to €300 when you quote online. That's up to €300 in your back pocket. Insurance that's easy, insurance that's quick. Visit redclick.ie. Online discount applies to new private car policies only. Maximum discount €300, subject to minimum premium. Applied before optional covers. Acceptance criteria, T's and C's apply. Generali España de Seguros y Reasegurs SA. Trading as RedClick and Generali is authorised by the General Directors of Insurance and Pension Funds in Spain and is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland for consumer protection rules.
Moncrief on Newstalk.
Shamie Ducey is a detective, but when he gets his first big case, his eyesight starts to decline. That's the opening premise of Ducey Half Sees Whodunit, the debut novel published today from Tom McAndrew, who, like Ducey, has also had issues with the sight. Tom, good afternoon.
Hello, Sean. Thanks for having me on the show.
So how long have you been writing this for?
Well, it's been a few years. There's been multiple drafts. I thought writing was going to be an easy task, but it turned out that it's not as easy as it looks. So it took a few drafts. I would say maybe 40 drafts.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I like to get it right.
And did your wife read every single one of them?
Unfortunately for her, yeah. At the end, she's getting a bit sick of it. She said maybe give it to her sister or someone else to read. A fresh pair of eyes, as I say.
Yeah, okay. Well, the poor thing, because it's probably hard to tell between one draft or another.
Exactly,
You'll notice the difference. I don't know, it's exactly the same.
And I think in a whodunit, it kind of spoils it when you know whodunit at the end.
That's true. That takes the fun out of it.
Exactly.
Really. And was that for you the important thing? The kind of no, because we'll get. Obviously, it's interesting that Ducey's eyesight is failing, but like plotting it out, and so you don't have that. People are reading it halfway through and go, "I know who did it."
Yeah, I'm big into plot. I love Agatha Christie, and I love the way she turns the plot. So I don't like people being able to guess it. So I hope whoever reads it won't be able to guess it until they've right to the very last page or the last sentence. And I suppose the reason I wrote it wasn't just as a whodunit. I wanted it to be kind of an inspirational story. So Shamie Ducey is this kind of underdog, scruffy little figure. I don't know, do you remember Columbo? He's that kind of Irish version of that. So nobody really treats him seriously. But the thing about him is he's got bad eyesight, but he's also got a mind's eye that's 20/20. So he can see through people. So he's very good. And I wanted to write kind of an inspirational story, not just for readers, but for myself, because I have my own bad sight, and I wanted something to cheer me up, to write about this character. And when I wrote it, I was really cheered up every time I wrote, because I'm living through his story, and it's like a dream for me to come through then that I can get the book published also, because I wanted to become a mystery writer, because I'm working in an audit job and over for 20 years, and as my sight is getting a little bit worse, I was thinking, what can I do besides auditing? There's something I can do that, even if my sight gets very bad, that I can still do. So I was thinking about writing, and with the technologies nowadays, you can write, I think, speech to text and everything like that. So that's what I was thinking along. Yeah. So back to your original question, I wanted it to be a whodunit, but I also wanted it to be about Shamie Ducey and how he copes with sight loss. But it's also a very funny novel, so I wouldn't like people to come away from thinking it's very serious and grim. It's actually very funny, I think.
Okay, would this be, I don't know, writers have different reactions to putting things into categories, but would this be a cozy murder?
Exactly, yeah, put your finger on it. Yeah, that's it. And the publicist or the publisher I went with is a cozy crime publisher.
Yeah, okay, all right. And so your own site, over the years, you've had operations in that, multiple operations.
Yeah, so I was wearing glasses since I was 4. Now, thank God my eyesight is quite reasonable at the moment. I've had lots of different operations. I've actually had cataract surgery recently. I've all got these old person kind of syndromes.
I was that soldier as well.
And so, thank God, with technologies is moving, and I'm always thinking, and it's a bit like Ducey. He's very optimistic, and he doesn't, he says his sight is a problem, but it's just an issue at the moment because who knows down the road what's going to come around. And I think the next big thing is gene therapy. My issues relate to the back of my eyes. I have lots of things there because I'm so long-sighted. It gives complications at the back of your eyes, but they're making great progress on that, and I'm optimistic they're going to have a cure for that soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And is there anything in common between being a writer of mysteries and an auditor?
Well, it's funny you should mention that. If you mention auditors to anybody, puts them, they yawn straight away, or they walk into the next room. It's a bit also, it's a bit like asking someone about a dentist also. I think it's the same reaction. But auditors ask a lot of questions. And I think my sisters are always saying I ask too many questions and I don't give people enough time to answer them. But I think that's an auditor's job for you. And then you ask the questions and you see if there's evidence there. And that's, I think, what a detective does too, and he weighs it up.
I suppose, there is that, yeah. But would people, working as an auditor, would people be uneasy around you?
Oh,
if
they
think
would.
You're auditing?
Yeah. Well, I give you a little tip. Maybe it's probably not the right thing to say, but I always say to someone, it's no harm to have a few mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and I'll have to write something in the report anyway. So maybe just let me know if you have any issues up front.
If it's too perfect, yeah.
Exactly.
That's suspicious. That's when you start looking.
Yeah.
And so Ducey, and where is Ducey based?
Ducey is an unusual name, probably. It's my mother's maiden name, and it's Doocey. I like it because it's got the two O's, and you see on the book cover, it's got a pair of glasses. I made that into.
Ducey.
Yeah, and it also sounds like Ducey. And he's based in, he's from Mayo originally, and that's where I'm from. A lot of him is me, but I've got him as this little scruffy character. He's a small little guy with a big cool of white hair. I don't have that at the moment, but it's getting there. And he's kind of very scruffy. He's got this anorak that he's been wearing for years, and he doesn't want to give it up. And he's from the west of Ireland. He's based out of Wicklow, and it is a dynamic between the East Coast and the West Coast, because he's working on the East Coast, but he's touching back base with his mammy back in Mayo. She's this 90-year-old, and she's got bad eyesight, and he's keeping an eye on her. And it's quite interesting that way. I have.
Okay. So he's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Payslip late again? Or worse still, wrong? We understand the stress it brings. Bills, rent, groceries, childcare. It all depends on payroll being right. That's why so many Irish businesses trust SD Works, powered by MegaPay. We handle payroll for 1 in 5 workers in Ireland because it's not just about numbers, it's about people. Find out how we can work for you at sdworks.ie. Accurate, on time, every time. SD Works.
We all know the feeling. You want to cook a proper dinner, but life gets in the way. The rush, the empty fridge. With HelloFresh, choose from 200 monthly recipes with pre-measured ingredients delivered to your door. Quality you can taste with 100% Irish meat. Whether a stir fry or a classic roast, enjoy all the flavours without the midweek hassle. Try HelloFresh and bring back dinner time. New customers get 50% off and a free treat.
So you want to go up this road here and get to the roundabout. Now, you take a left and then you go past Murphy's house. Do you know the Murphy's? Their young lad, Sean, I think he's over in London now. Oh, yeah.
FBD doesn't stand for frustratingly bad directions. FBD stands for support. We support van drivers in Ireland with up to 75% off new van policies. FBD Insurance. Support. It's what we do.
Can't miss it. Once you pass there, a little terrier will start to chase you. And once he gives up, you should be there.
75% off based on 5 years no claims discount. Terms and conditions apply. FBD Insurance PLC is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Any idea what interest rate your savings are earning? Well, it's simple. If they're earning no interest, then you're losing value to inflation every single day. But that's where Raisin comes in. Raisin gives you access to competitive interest rates from across Europe, all through one easy-to-use account. Make the move and start putting your savings to work. Visit raisin.com today. Raisin. Your savings smarter.
Raisin Bank trading as Raisin is regulated by BaFin in Germany and the Central Bank of Ireland for conduct of business. Dirt is not taken at source. Declare interest annually to revenue.
But he hasn't told his superiors about the eyesight.
No, but eventually, they probably will have to discover it. I won't give too much away, but he's trying to keep that under wraps. And he hasn't told the suspects that he has bad eyesight either, But it's funny, like my own experience of, if you don't mention to people about your eyesight, a lot of time they don't pick it up on, so it's kind of a secret thing,
Yeah.
So it's
now, and correct me if I'm wrong, is part of the plot, and I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it does involve the wife of a mystery writer disappearing.
It does, yeah.
Is this a revenge on your wife for ultimately refusing to read all the drafts?
I hope not. It could be though, but it's actually interesting because I was learning myself about writing when I was doing this, so I put in a lot that I learned about writing. So that's another angle that I hope people will enjoy, because it's a book within a book. Because Nolan ends up writing this book, so technically it's Nolan that wrote the book, not Tom McAndrew.
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah, so meta narrative as well. That's very fancy for cozy crime.
Very fancy, yeah.
And like you have a 3-book deal now. So have you already mapped out? What's going to happen to Ducey?
Yeah, actually, I think as a writer, you'll know this yourself. You probably get stronger as you go along, and I think my next books are better, to be honest. But I like this new book. This first book, the dynamic is between Nolan and Ducey. Nolan is this kind of uptight, kind of very posh kind of guy, whereas Ducey is a very scruffy. So I'm kind of trying to examine the class system in Ireland too, the unofficial class system. The next book is about, it's a CEO, and I used to work in a corporate environment for over 20 years, so I know about office politics and has been an auditor. So the lights go out in the boardroom and the CEO is murdered, but which one of the directors murdered her? So Ducey has to go in and find that. And he also finds some love in the next book.
Right, okay, so is the next book like...
Yeah, I have most of that one written. And then the third book, I'm working on that at the moment, and that's about a former president of Ireland, who's a kind of goody two-shoes. Everybody likes him. He's a very moral person. But Ducey, he's accused of murdering his wife, and Ducey finds out maybe he's not as good as people think. So that one is called Ducey Turns a Blind Eye to Whodunit. Yeah. And the second one is called Ducey Can't See Whodunit. And the second one, Ducey loses his sight completely.
Right, okay, so that's an ongoing plot line there.
Yeah, but he may get it back, but I'll tell you that one.
And because you went to, it's Camel Press, who are and they're an American publisher who specialise in that kind of thing. Did they come back to you at all about, because obviously it's clearly an Irish book set in Ireland, and then they go, what does Taoiseach mean? Or, was there a bit of that,
Yeah, they were having a great laugh about it. They love words like, I used the word banjaxed. Yeah. And they couldn't understand what that word is, They never heard it before, and they love those. It's when you write a book that you discover that us Irish, we speak a really totally different English to the Americans, but they loved it. And I kind of explain it a little bit in the book. I don't just put them in without kind of context. So I think American readers can get it, but they love the words, They loved hearing about the Irish landscape and about dolmens, about the burial chambers, and they loved that. So I think it's good for an American audience.
Yeah, and so can you see a time where you're still auditing as well at the moment?
Yeah. Well, the thing with the auditing is it's getting very stressful on my eyes at the moment. So I hope to make it into, it'd be a dream for me to be able to move into writing a full time, that's what I hope. But I'm getting old too, so I'm 51, so
not that
20 years of auditing is enough for anybody.
Okay, did I not give you a medal after 20 years or something like that?
Yeah.
And what in writers do you enjoy? Because I suppose people, they think of Cozy Crime, they think of the Thursday Murder Club books.
Yeah, well, I like your writing, and I like Anthony Horowitz. He's a great, I don't know if you read his books, he's the Hawthorne Mysteries, and there's great humour there. He's actually sets himself into the book as the author. He's a character, and he makes great fun of himself, and I love that. I think there's not enough books. This is one of the reasons I wrote it, is I can't find books myself. I don't know, I'm probably a bit weird, but I can't find enough books that have a lot of humour in them. I love it to be a page turner, but I also like to have lots of humour. And if it can make me laugh, I'll keep reading.
Yeah.
That's my big thing.
Yeah, can that be difficult though? Because especially when you're out on the second, first and second book, somebody's just died. You know, you can be going in making gags about it.
Exactly, and you might also it might be difficult to make gags about eyesight and that. But I suppose, given that I have my own issues, I can do it, I think.
Yes.
But you can't make fun of yourself. Who can you make fun of? But it's a good point. And Agatha Christie was always worried. She wrote The Mousetrap, and she was worried that was too funny. But I think that's what makes it. I think the humour in it is great.
Well, that's why The Mousetrap's still running for a million years.
Exactly,
or something.
And then the other thing I'm sorry to say is, humour is very subjective. So I'm always conscious when I say it's a funny book. My wife keeps saying to me, actually, don't say it's funny, because she doesn't find a lot of it funny, but she has a peculiar sense of humour, where I be laughing at my own jokes.
Oh no, you're a dad joke.
Which is a worry.
But presumably the Americans got the jokes. That's what.
And thankfully a lot of people who've read it, the ARC readers and that, have found it funny. My kids say it's cringe, but
that's what kids are supposed to say.
They do,
Don't worry about that. Tom, thanks a million for coming in, and a very best of luck with this and the rest of the Ducey novels. It's called Ducey Half Seas Whodunit. It's published today. Tom McAndrew is the author of that and will be the author of subsequent Ducey books.
Moncrief, weekdays at 2 on Newstalk. Conversation that counts.